So that was our day-to-day is, I wonder what's going to come in today. You know, what great brand am I going to get to play with today? And oh, by the way, I'm going to get a pretty decent check at the end of the day. You know, so it's a pretty cool situation. You work a long time to get into that situation. But, you know, as that's happening, you know, we're hearing about, you know, over the last, you know, 8-9 years, you know, the economic woes, especially in '08, but even prior to that a little bit. And so I can remember being a kid, and the economy is always up and down, and I never understood what made that happen. And I to me, it was like the weather. It was just something that happened to you. You know, okay, well, this is happening, you know, and I never just was, I guess, I don't know, either smart enough or just had to work that way to get what made the economy tick. And then, you know, over the last few years, it was dumbed down so that I understood it. I think we all did. And it's basically, a lot of it's being attributed to the lack of manufacturing. And then that just, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, there aren't people at a factory making something. They're not being paid. They're not, in turn, going out and spending that money on dog grooming and car insurance and whatever else they buy and creating those jobs. And so I got it, you know. And so that was the good news. The bad news was I realized immediately, like, I was part of the problem. We all kind of, here we are, we're in the service sector. In many cases, a service to other services, or we're trying to blow up products that are all offshored, and we're guns for hire, you know. And so, not to be melodramatic and, oh, I need meaning, and, you know, but it was difficult to realize that we're just part of the system, you know, and it felt powerless given our skill set that we could create any kind of change, right? And so I remember we would have conversations. I can remember driving in my truck and wishing that I worked on a factory line. You know, and I'm sure I would have wished that for like one shift, and then I would have, but because I know that's hard work. But the point is, like, man, I wish I did something tangible. Like, God, it was a weird situation, and the three of us would work on projects together. Our departments would overlap sometimes if we had a big pitch or something else going on. And one time we just got to talking, and then we realized it sort of hit us, you know. We don't have to be the people that make things. Like, we could just help the people that make things, right? So we can use the skill set that we've honed over the last, you know, 10 years and apply that to brands that are made here. What if we just did that and almost use it like a new business filter? And it just clicked. It was like, we got to do this, right? And so we held hands and jumped off the world's most precipitous financial cliff. And I mentioned that several times. I don't mean to keep going back to that, but I think it's telling.